When you're really connected to this divine feminine energy, you can't help but slow down, soften, relax, and really take in the beauty that you are experiencing. See, if we're not connected to this feminine energy within us, then we can't see the beauty that's literally everywhere. And when we start connecting to this feminine energy within us, then as we're walking around, whatever we are seeing, there's a softness to it. You quite literally feel that your gaze has softened. Your experience of life has softened. It's more relaxed. It's more zoomed out. You have more of a panoramic vision. You're taking in more of the moment. It's a wider perspective, but also a deeper perspective. Your vision is quite literally penetrating the form, the trees, the birds, the grass, the flowers, the sky, the sun, the moon. All of this, it's as if you are penetrating those forms with your vision. Now, this could get confusing depending on how you hear it. It's not exactly like X-ray vision, but it is a good expression of it, because it kind of feels like that, as if it's some sort of X-ray vision, but it's not. It's more of that this vision, this I guess some people call it spiritual vision. This the awakening of the third eye is you're seeing the essence. You're seeing beyond the name and form. You're seeing the essence of the form, right? So you're seeing the essence in everything. So this feminine energy, this divine feminine energy, is the power that's animating everything. It's the power that's moving everything, what everything is made of. And this, when experienced, is the experience of beauty. So you feel as if you're feeling love inside you, but you're also experiencing beauty outside of you. So whatever you're looking at is so beautiful, and inside you feel love. Now, this is only the experience up to a certain point, because this is quite dualistic to say that, is that you're feeling love inside you and seeing beauty outside you. But I do like that expression, and that's quite literally how it feels. And you basically are so connected to this feminine energy. This feminine energy is this, what I sometimes refer to as like Mother Nature, this goddess, is just radiating this beauty, where it really takes your breath away. You'll find that it literally brings you to your knees in some moments, that you just have to stop. You have to catch your breath, and really you're at a standstill. These type of expressions, drop dead gorgeous. You literally are, you drop dead, as in like who you think you are dies in the moment of beauty, right? It's drop dead gorgeous. This radiance, this beauty is stunning. It stuns the mind. You're not thinking. You're not experiencing thoughts about the sunset. You're not thinking, about the curvature of the moon and the details of the moon. You're not thinking. The mind is still. It's stunned. It's just awestruck by the beauty. When you really yield to it, when you really surrender to the beauty of Mother Nature, you'll find that it can bring you to tears, that you can just look at a flower, you can look at a butterfly, you can look at a blade of grass, and you can just start tearing up. The tears, liquid love just starts flowing through your eyes, from your eyes. And it's really this path of beauty, when you're connected to this divine feminine energy, that you start experiencing more beauty, and you really lean into this beauty. You really embrace this beauty more. It's very intoxicating. You're like drunk off of love when you're experiencing this, that you're just like everything doesn't matter anymore, because you're so overwhelmed in a good way. I should not say overwhelmed, but taken over by the beauty. You're taken over by the beauty, and you can literally just stand still with your mouth dropped, your jaw dropped, and your eyes just wide, this wide-eyed wonder, your jaw dropping, your mind stunned. These are like where these expressions come from, right? And it's here, it's natural, it's the natural world, right? And it's right here that if you are experiencing this, sometimes at the start, the mind does come in and it will say something like, keep going, you got to get home faster, you got somewhere to go, or, what about those people that are going to be looking at you if you spend too much time by the stream or the creek or the river? What if that, that parent is starting to think that you're looking weird because you're, looking so, these eyes are just so wide open and you're just mesmerized by their baby or their dog, or right? It's like these experiences just basically take you over. And when those thoughts come, the habit is to kind of close up, and the habit is to try and basically get back to what was the plan and where am I going, right? It's the resistance to that beauty. If you start to be aware of that resistance to the beauty, if you start becoming aware of those thoughts that arise, those thoughts that arise in those moments when you're really just taken in by it, then you start seeing that actually, you start seeing what's sort of interrupting your moment, you sort of say, right? It's as if you're just seeing this beauty, this majesty being presented in front of you. And, it's like someone is, coming in here, right? Like a third wheel, just kind of interrupting you, saying, hey, we gotta go. And you were just totally just intoxicated by the beauty of Mother Nature. So it's kind of like that. Once you start noticing that interruption, then you stop following it. You don't basically follow that train of thought anymore. You just let that thought pass and it disappears. And over time, you really embrace the beauty more and more. And you see those opportunities where you're just taken in and you allow it to take you over. And when you're taken over by that, you're taken over by it because you're surrendering to the beauty. You're surrendering to that divine feminine energy, and it just flows through you. And it's just inexpressible. You can't comprehend it. There's nothing to say about it other than these words that I'm using that really, they're all I got. Beauty, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, jaw dropping, majesty, like they're only the words that I have. It's something that you really have to experience. And once you start experiencing it more and more and see what I'm talking about and pointing to, then you can really lean into it, that you're really allowing it to take you over. And it kind of feels like actually when you really surrender to it in the moment, that it does take you over. And this word that I want to use, although it's got a lot of negative connotation to it, I'm saying it in the nicest way, but you actually feel like you're possessed by it, that it takes you over, that this divine feminine energy just takes you over and you're gone. You're not there, and it takes you over. And that's what then starts flowing. That's where the tears are coming from. That's what's moving the tears. And you actually come to see that you actually surrendered to yourself, that as you experience this more and more, you're cute. Hey, sorry. That's all right. And look at this guy. And you come to see that the little guy right there, you come to see that you're actually just surrendering to your nature, that this divine feminine energy is actually your true nature, that this is what you're actually suppressing all the time, that this is what's trying to express, that this is what's naturally expressing. And this is where the mind, which is the masculine aspect, is trying to suppress it. It's trying to control it. It's fighting with nature. So you're not fighting nature. If you're on a walk and you're seeing this beauty and it's wanting to make you stop and stand still and take it in, Mr. Mind that wants to interrupt that moment, it says, come on, keep going. You're not going to be productive. Other people are going to be passing you by. You got to get back to work and got places to go and people to see and we got stuff to do. All these type of things that kind of take you away from that experience and kind of, shut it down pretty quick. You actually see that that's suppressing that beauty, that suppressing that natural flow that wants you to actually, bring you to its knees, right? And experience that love, experience that beauty, and really just enjoy yourself in the moment. So the more you're aware of this and the more you really see it unfolding, that the opportunity is always here, the opportunity to experience beauty is right in front of you. You just have to start seeing how something is sort of blocking that. Something's getting in the way. And once you start seeing that, then you basically aren't following it. You're not listening to it. And it allows you to sink deeper into the moment, to really embrace it, relax, and let it just happen. Let it happen. So let it bring you to your knees. Let it make you stand still. Let it make your jaw drop and just feel like you're stunned for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, even when the mind comes in and says, okay, let's go. People are starting to look. What if that person sees you? You just continue to experience it. And like this, then you just have those experiences more and more in your life, and you're just experiencing more and more beauty. And like this, it just starts fading away, this kind of feeling of very life is like, gloomy or gray, and it's not. It's beautiful, it's vibrant, it's alive. And like this just becomes the way of living. This just becomes how you're experiencing life, that you're experiencing more and more beauty. And you start seeing that it's everywhere. It's not something that you can have some sort of gratitude journal about. And it's just everywhere you look. Everywhere that you look, you just see her. You see the divine. You see beauty. You see Mother Nature, whatever. You got so many different words that could be used to point to what I'm talking about. Call it what you want, but it's nameless, right? And this is really the path of beauty. A lot of artists will experience this by going all the way in their heart. This is actually very beautiful in the path of beauty, that whatever your art is, it's actually both a path back to your heart and an expression of your heart. If you take it the full way, if you go totally into your art, if you surrender to your art and allow it to just basically this energy to possess you. You know how artists usually sometimes say, I was possessed when I was in the studio. Something took over me. I don't know where those words came from. I don't know who was playing the piano or who was playing the guitar. It's just something was moving through me. They're talking about what I'm talking about here, where it feels like you're actually taken over in that moment because you've surrendered. You're no longer suppressing it. And it comes out, it's expressed in a way that you would never think is possible. And it only creates more and more beauty, right? So it's both a path back, whatever the activity is, whether it be singing or poetry or painting or cooking or any of these type of things, right? Not limited to what you traditionally think is, creative work or art. But anything that you go fully in on like that, by surrendering to it, you then are experiencing that beauty, and you'll experience that it's a path back to your heart where you're experiencing the love, right? And you'll want to express that love in the world, which then takes shape in the form of beauty, right? So it's both the path back and also a way of expressing it, right? It's kind of like this journey in, and it's also journey out. It's the form of seeking the source through the activity, as well as sharing the source through the activity, right? So that's probably all I want to say about this. You may have, I don't want to say probably, but you may have actually noticed this in your life, where you actually are experiencing what I'm talking about for moments, brief moments, or certain activities. And these are signs. The sign of feeling like time stands still, where you're just stunned, you can't move, like your jaw drops, it's like, someone's got to pick it up for you. You're just mesmerized, where your eyes are like saucers, wide-eye wonder, like a child, right? How babies look with their wide eyes, is that wonder, that awe. You're just speechless. You can't say anything about it, right? And it's just pure bliss, right? It's to experience that more and more through really surrendering to this divine feminine energy, right? Surrendering to those emotions. That's the divine feminine energy. Surrendering to the flow of freedom, the spontaneity, right? It just starts loosening everything up. All the rigidness, the tightness, the control, the suppression, all of that just cannot fight with this, right? Just the way we see in our outer life, that we're at war with nature, but you can't win against Mother Nature. It's the same as this suppression can only last so long. Trying to control this, trying to fight our nature will never win. It can't last. There's a breaking point. There's a giving up. There's a surrendering to it. And the more you start seeing the signs of it and really embracing it, then you start seeing that actually what you're fighting is your true nature. And what your true nature, how it's living, is beyond your wildest dreams. It's something that you would never imagine. Your experience of life is something that you would never imagine when you're experiencing your true nature. And like this, your true nature is the ultimate adventure. This love is an adventure. It's the ultimate adventure of life. Life is an adventure. And like this, your life just becomes an unfoldment of this adventure. Even after you discover your true nature, the adventure continues in a different way, but it continues. And your life is just unfolding more and more like this. And your life then becomes more of what we can call an actualization of this potential. See, this source of this divine feminine energy is pure potentiality. And this divine feminine energy is the actuality of that source. Now, this source and energy are one and the same, so they're inseparable. But we can say that there's two aspects of it. One is the potentiality and one is the actuality. Once you realize this potentiality, which can be realized by surrendering to this divine feminine energy, you will then have the realization of the source itself. You then see that actually your life transforms. It's no longer really your life, but continue speaking of it like this, that you, who you thought you were, the character, the manifestation that you thought you were, then becomes the actuality of that potentiality, right? So you're actualizing your potential in everything that you do, right? And it's just unfolding. It's unfolding and it's an adventure. And like this, we can say that the adventure continues. It's a different journey. So I usually say it's a journey of truth, not to truth, right? The first part of the journey is a journey to truth, but then there's a journey in truth or of truth that just continues, right? It's life's journey. So of course it continues after the realization of source, but now it's a different perspective. It's a different way of living, right? So, gone on way too long for this. I said I'd wrap it up probably 5 minutes ago. Let's wrap it up now. If you want to explore this more, if you have had a taste of what I'm talking about, you want to experience more of your true nature, if you like this topic of divine feminine, well, we got a retreat coming up. I don't know exactly when it is, but you can get more details about it. The retreat is actually called Divine Feminine, and you can get more details about it in Truth Community. You can join Truth Community for free. I'll put a link in the description below. Hope to see you there. Hope to see you at the retreat. And until then, peace.